Yeah, so one cool example of the development process in action is we would hear a lot about search and wanting to, what we thought was customers wanting an easy way to search through all of their business content, all of their PDFs and PowerPoints and Word documents and all the stuff where they had this potential expertise. And so that's one of the things we put up in front of our customers. And what we actually heard, which was really interesting to us, is I know how to go search for stuff and eventually find the right thing. That's not the problem. The problem is, how do I know if it's right when I find it? And that was like one of the big aha moments for us, where we're like, all right, we have got to make this notion of trusted content very core to what we do. And so what was something we were thinking about as a nice to have, this idea of verified information, has now become one of our key value props that we always talk about, And it was through that process where we kept hearing people say that we came to that realization, and we're like, okay, this is clearly something that's important that needs to be top of mind. So that's a good one. And I think the other big one is we early on put a lot of emphasis into a use case of using Guru to answer questions via email. Prospect asks you a question, quickly find the answer, send it back to them via email. And what we found is that there's just as much of a pain point of being able to leverage Guru content while you're on the phone. If I'm a salesperson, I'm on the phone with a prospect and they start asking me things, or I'm preparing for the call and I know what they're going to hit me with, I want to pull up 4 or 5 Guru cards and have them ready to go. And I come back to that card point because in the old days, you'd be using a document, right? You'd be pulling up this long 10-page document. Well, that's not something you can quickly read on the phone. You're going to sit there and scroll through 10 pages while you have a prospect on the phone. It won't work. But by using a card metaphor, when you're creating the card, you're creating it in the same form of what it looks like when you're consuming it. So you're creating something that's this, not this, right? This big, long, endlessly, consumable thing. And so the use case that we saw or observed our customers doing a lot was on the phone, pulling that card up real quick, being able to answer a prospect's question while you're on the phone. Because again, that makes the customer happy because you are a more informed salesperson, and it increases the likelihood that you're going to win their business. So one of those obvious things now, but back then we were much more focused on helping you answer emails quickly, and we realized that that's really only half of this. And the other half is, I'm on the phone and, I want to create a good experience for my customer.